And now, bringing pop culture and horror to you. Horror Pop After Midnight with Robin Nelson.
This is Robin's Horror Pop After Midnight. I'm at Fright Film competition here at the UC campus in Claremont. And my guest is Patrick Johnston.
Justin Fiser. And my name's Caleb Weber.
Yeah, you guys did a indie horror action short called Cleanser. Tell me a little bit about Cleanser.
So Cleanser was an idea I had about 2 years ago. And logistically, it was too difficult. I didn't have the location. I didn't have the people I needed. And so it just kind of sat as something I wanted to do for a while. And eventually, Fright Film rolled around. I knew the people I need to know. I called dibs on one of the finest actors in the area. And luckily, everybody was really committed to pulling together and making my, funny, weird action movie come together. Especially Justin. Justin here actually committed to losing, 30-some pounds? About 20 pounds, yeah. Awesome. The best shape of his life. Best shape much.
Justin, tell us a little bit about your role in the film.
So I was the main villain of the movie. I know his name is Oliver, thank you. Oh my goodness, I could have forgotten. Anyway, so I played Oliver in the film, the main villain. And Caleb knows that I really like vampire movies and stuff like Dracula. And he figured that this would be like a great, thing to allow me to have, just this Dracula-esque role, and I loved it. I thought it was really fun. Like he said, I lost a lot of weight for the role because beforehand I was about 207 pounds. I managed to get down to like 185 because I just wanted to look really good. I just came back from a vacation. I gained an extra 10 pounds, so I screwed that. Yeah, I screwed that all up. So now I look terrible again, but it's all right. So I'm fine.
Now let's talk about Patrick, man. You played one of the cleansers.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your character.
Yeah, so I played the cleanser, which is fantastic. I get brought in to eradicate the demons, right?
The demons, yeah.
Yeah, the vampires, if you will. So yeah, my character was a lot of fun to play, and I think I lost the amount of weight that Justin lost being in the suit playing the character. So the warehouse that we were in was extremely hot, and I was covered up that trapped a lot of my body heat in. So it was a lot of sweaty nights getting this thing taken care of. But we had an amazing crew of people. We had incredible talent, incredible director. Shout out to the DP, the gaffer with the grip, the makeup artist, sound, everybody else that was on the team, the editor, and just fantastic all around. It was a lot of fun to make this one.
Now, Patrick, you guys tell me about the mask that Patrick was wearing. Was that homemade or?
No, so that came straight from Amazon. But the idea of the character, the other person wearing a plague mask is my friend Jimmy, who I hung out with daily for about 2 years, and he is a plague doctor aficionado, big fan of plague doctor. So I, in a third shift fever dream, put together the idea of a plague doctor SWAT team member. And that was a very hard pitch for people to put together of plague doctor SWAT team, this sci fantasy mash. And so eventually I had to reach out to an artist. The artist kind of gave a rough sketch, and then I took that, ran it through a little bit of AI, and I got a 80% close idea of how I wanted this guy to look, which it felt very Resident Evil. Operation Raccoon City. Yeah. And so I was able to take that. I gave it to the makeup artist. I gave it to Patrick. Patrick, conveniently enough, already had 70% of the costume. So that saved a lot of time and money, and it looked better than the stuff I had already purchased.
It was fun. It's a great look.
Oh, you looked at Patrick, how much fun did you have with all that weaponry?
Too much fun. Too much fun. I mean, anytime you get an opportunity to play something like that and have that kind of, those props, those weapons, and interact with that kind of stuff, I mean, it's just too cool. You don't get to do that stuff very often, so when you do get that chance, you're appreciative and grateful for it, and I am very much so.
Justin, do you enjoy having a sword swung at your neck?
Not really.
No. You flinched every take.
Yeah, no, like, 'cause there were a couple times where you came up this close, like, multiple times. I think one time you actually, like, got the very tip of my nose or something, I can't remember.
We do it for the betterment of the film, folks, but nobody gets hurt.
You've been all right.
Hey, luckily you didn't get your head chopped off.
The good thing is the sword was not real at all, so.
Adam wouldn't give me a real sword. Adam's right off camera. He's right there.
So where was this filmed at? It looked like a very creepy warehouse.
So I met a very wonderful person named Renee Miccio. Yeah. Very interesting guy. He does a lot of charity work. He works in IT, but he also manages this set of artist lofts in this big warehouse. So I reached out to him. I pitched the idea to him. I told him we follow all these safety rules, what are the rules of the warehouse. But one of the greatest networking tools is Facebook, and that's just how it came down the pipe. It used to be an old cannery back in the turn of the century, 1900. It was, I don't think it was ever condemned, but it was just shut down. And then he lives in rural Ohio, somewhere north of Dayton, but south of Toledo. He bought the warehouse as an investment, and then he hired this guy, Renee Miccio, to run it for him. And so Renee's a wonderful contact, and he was super accommodating. We borrowed equipment from him. He runs a photography studio inside of that warehouse, but there's musicians, full bands, painters, screen printers, all kinds of different artists in that space. And it was fun actually running into a few because you go oh, what are you working on? They go, oh, what are you working on?
So let's talk about the actress Allison. Was she your ideal for that role?
Yes, actually. So we've made a lot of friends the last few years doing these competitions, and Allison was someone that I met at another competition about 2 years ago, and we worked with her last year on Fright film. And so it was well, she did a phenomenal job. Let's reach out and have her do an action role. And she absolutely killed it, brought great energy, a can-do attitude. And she didn't hit Patrick over the head with the shovel. Yeah. So that was really good.
Yeah, between Patrick and Allison, you can tell they had that deep chemistry, man. You just felt the emotion of that.
Allison and I go way back with quite a few films, so it's good to have that rapport and friendship that's already there. So it was good to do those scenes with her because you already have that trust established and stuff. And so there were plenty of times during that particular sequence of just going through it, of Caleb and all of us just kind of going through the motion of everything, the coaching, the blocking, the rehearsing, the method of which to sell each action, the hits, and make it work. And again, you build up that trust that you can hit me across this part of my body where it's not going to hurt, or there's a way we can stage it, obviously, for all the camera tricks and things that you guys we'll see later on, as far as behind the scenes if you want to find on YouTube of any film that's out there, how to properly fight choreograph these things, and going through all the motions with her. She picked it up super easily, and so it resonates on screen. So I think she did a fantastic job.
You got pretty filthy, man. I couldn't even recognize you in that film.
For some reason, Caleb likes to make sure that I get a lot of makeup for pretty much every project that we do. And and things I've done horror films and stuff before, and it's gotten to the point where when you get red dyed corn syrup on you just get used to it after a while, and you just kind of forget it's there.
It's also a convenient snack.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend eating it at all.
Let's talk about the film score. Who did the film score?
Adam. Adam did the entire sound design. I had purchased some assets. He downloaded his own assets, and we brought 2 libraries together. The end credit song is actually from a friend of mine that I played video games with in Georgia. He had just joined a band, and I asked him, like, hey man, we've hung out for like 6 years. You want to make a song? And he goes, like, yeah, I'll make a song. And so I worked with them. We got a couple iterations through it, and we got, honestly, a really cool banger.
Oh yeah, I really dug it. So have you thought about maybe making this into a feature film?
The question has come up. I've thought about it, and I think there is definitely room to explore that. As far as getting the legwork down for it, I haven't started that yet.
All right, so where can everybody find you on social media to see what you guys are doing next? And also, since you guys did the cleanser, is it going to be shown on any streaming sites, or are you going to think about maybe doing festivals or what?
So definitely I'm going to submit to a few festivals. I think it has definitely the legs to stand around with some bigger names. I think we're punching above our weight on this one. After that, after Fright Film, I'll have it on YouTube for people to watch for maybe a week or two. After that, who knows?
All right, so what's your YouTube channel and where can we find all you guys?
So our team runs a YouTube channel, Bonzai Marine Media. It has all of our shorts from all of our past competitions, with the exception of the ones that our friend and co-producer Adam has done. He has his own channel for that. You can find me on Instagram at CalebW1925. Justin?
You can find me on YouTube as Collection Fanatic. I mostly do reviews of like home media releases of old movies.
Nice, I gotta check that out.
I'm also like a recurring guest on another YouTube channel called My Friend Cameron. I'm often involved in his live streams called Stooges Play. I'm also involved in a lot of his podcasts, such as the Friends, Pals, and Buddies podcast. And you can find me there. And I'm often trolling a guy who is also a good friend of mine called Crazy Creature Games.
And you, Patrick?
You can find me on Instagram at @official_Pete Johnston, or on Facebook, just look me up as Patrick Johnston. But the most important one you folks at home need to check out is Horror Pop After Midnight with my friend Robin Nelson. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You're not going to be sorry.
That's about what Horror Pop After Midnight is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Robin.
That's right, don't you forget it. All right, thanks guys.
Like and subscribe.
Sponsored by FilmOhio.org. Check out other episodes of Horror Pop After Midnight on Spreaker, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And there you have it.